There are some days when I just genuinely do not feel like cooking dinner, but everybody still needs to eat. So I'm making 3 of the easiest meals that we turn to when energy is low and takeout is sounding really tempting. They are simple, family friendly, and they take almost no effort at all.
We love Mississippi pot roast, Mississippi chicken. We love all these recipes, right? We've been making them for years. You've made it before. I know you have. You had to have tried this. But today we're gonna make Mississippi chicken enchiladas, okay? So we're starting with the crock pot. I've got 2 large chicken breasts already here in my crock pot, and we are going to take some ranch seasoning powder. Now, because I'm only using 2 chicken breasts, I'm only gonna use about half of this packet, but you can add more if you want. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, okay? You can mess with the recipe, fix it up a little bit if you want. About half of this packet is really enough. Now, if I were gonna make beef instead of chicken, I would also add a little bit of the au jus packet. I do not have sliced pepperoncini, but I do have whole ones, so we're just gonna add these this time. And because I do not have the time right now, I need to do it later, I'll come back and slice them at the end. So add in those peppers. Come on. I have sliced banana peppers, but they're hot, and I don't think they're gonna work for this recipe. Okay, I personally would even want more than that, but that's what we have, so that's what we're gonna use. Add a little bit of the juice. I'm gonna do about a 1/4 cup or so. Now, some people add water to theirs. I don't. We're gonna skip the water. We're just gonna have the juice of this, and we're gonna cook this in the crock pot on low for about 3 to 4 hours-ish, and we'll come back and shred up the chicken. I'll show you the next steps, but this is so easy. Just set it in the crock pot and you can walk away. Okay, friends, we are nearing the point of being able to shred the chicken, but I wanna go ahead and pull out these peppers and get them cut up so that I don't have to worry about that in a couple minutes. So let's just go ahead and pull these out. Obviously, this is something that I could have done before I even put them in here, but you know, I was kind of rushing earlier. So we're just gonna slice them. If you wanna make this super easy on yourself, do as I say, not as I do, and buy them already sliced. Okay, this chicken is actually ready to be shredded, so that's good. We'll do that in just a second. Let me go ahead and cut these up. So you can remove the seeds if you want to. They're hot, so I'm trying to be careful here. All right, now before I continue, I usually pull out some of the liquid because you don't always need all the liquid in here. I'd rather pull some out, and then if we need more, I can add it back in. This is why I don't add extra water either. So I just take some out, just a bit. That's about a 1/4 cup. Set it to the side, and if we need more, then obviously we can add liquid back in. All right, at this point, I'm gonna take my mix and chop and just use that to break apart or shred the chicken. You don't have to have one of these. 2 forks works just fine. And now, depending on how much you're making, how much chicken you're making, you might want to use more cream cheese than I'm using. I'm gonna add 4 ounces of cream cheese. And actually, yes, I think I will add back in the liquid because once we get that cream cheese in there, that'll be perfect. Maybe not even all of it. Okay, we need to add 4 ounces of cream cheese in. I'll let this soften up a little bit. Okay. Now, if you know what? I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. So maybe like 5 ounces. Okay, let's just start to mix that together. Mine is really softened. If yours is not, just put the lid back on for a couple of minutes and then you'll be good to go. It'll soften itself up and you can mix all of this together. Now, if we had Greek yogurt, I would add it in. I completely forgot to order Greek yogurt. You can add some sour cream or Greek yogurt into this and it'll be delicious. Let's add those pepperoncini back in. I don't think we need any more of the liquid. Let's stir and give this part a little taste. Make sure it tastes really good. I know it's going to, but you know, we gotta verify before we go assembling this whole thing. Oh yeah, delicious. Okay, so let's just set that to the side. I'm actually gonna turn it to off because we really don't need it on. I do need to shred up some cheese. I really want to use Monterey Jack cheese this time. So I'm gonna shred this up. That way we can move forward with this recipe. So you guys know it's cheese shredder time. And I keep my cheese shredder right here because we use it a lot. Okay, let's go with the bigger one today. Obviously, feel free to just buy pre-shredded cheese. You don't have to do this. And now, even though it's pretty early, I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling the casserole portion. I actually am taking my daughter to volleyball tonight. We've been switching off taking her to her practices. So it's my turn tonight. So I'm gonna assemble the whole thing now so that my husband can just put it in the oven while we're gone. Then when we get home from volleyball, dinner will be ready. All right, I'm gonna use a smaller dish. I'm gonna use an 8x8 because I think that's all we're gonna need for tonight based on the amount of chicken I made and all that kind of stuff. So spray it really well. This is avocado oil spray. Set that to the side. We're gonna start the assembly line. So this is super easy, except we're running out of supplies here. Take some of the chicken mixture, a couple tablespoons of that, a little bit of cheese, and just roll it up. And then that goes in your dish, seam side down. And just repeat the process over and over. I feel like I'm gonna get 6 to 8. 6 to 8 is not gonna fit in this dish. What am I thinking? All right, rather than start it over, which is fine, I'm going to just grab another one and we'll have it here in case. I do think that although we love these tortillas, you may want to opt for a smaller tortilla. It's totally up to you, you know, how much you want each one to serve. So, oh, almost forgot cheese. But these are a medium size, I believe, probably medium to large-ish. So just depending, you may want to go with a smaller one. Okay, so that's 5 in that one, y'all. Just be better than me. Okay, now we take some heavy cream and you just kind of pour all over the top. Overall, I would say a half to 3/4 of a cup. You don't want to drown it in heavy cream, but you do want enough that it kind of, I don't know, adds to the moisture maybe. And top that with your Monterey Jack cheese, as much or as little as you want. Make it as cheesy as you want. Now, this is actually, I thought about it, and this is actually perfect the way that this worked out. This other pan, I'm gonna put a little less of the heavy cream on just for me, so that it's a little lower on the fat content. Okay, so this looks good. I'm gonna set this to the side, have it ready for my husband to put into the oven. And let's finish these off. Just a little bit of heavy cream here, not much. Okay, so this one can be more for me and then an extra one for whoever wants it. And I might not put quite as much cheese either because there's a good amount of cheese inside of these. I think this will be good. All right. These are gonna go into the oven at 350 degrees. You want them to cook for about 30 minutes because that is so beautiful when you get that brownness on the top. Mississippi chicken enchiladas.
I mean, enchiladas is one of the favorite things that we eat.
It's been a while, but we've had it multiple times.
Is it too hot? It wasn't.
That's really good.
You can see the creaminess of it. But you don't want to bite into an enchilada and it be dry, right?
It is hot.
That second bite, closer to the middle. That's delicious.
It is very good. There's a little bit of a kick because of the pepperoncini. Just a little bit though. I don't think that like that bite that I just had, I had pepperoncini in it and you taste it, but it's not overwhelming. It's not, in my opinion, it's not too spicy. If you've had Mississippi pot roast or Mississippi chicken before and you liked it, then it's not gonna be too spicy for you. I think it's packed full of flavor.
It is, yeah.
And I love the Monterey Jack the cheese on the top, because it's just something a little different than what we normally have. We typically have a cheddar or a Parmesan, and this is a good change up.
I'll be curious how I feel at the end of this meal, because I like the inside from the first bite. I like the inside mixture more than any other enchilada we have, but it's missing that honey lime one that, that we
the
make.
honey and the lime together is so good.
Yeah, so I'll be curious if I like this one more than that.
Yeah, very, very good.
You guys know I am always trying to simplify dinner, especially during busy seasons when life gets a little chaotic. One thing I never regret is keeping our freezer fully stocked. You guys know I like to do that with freezer meals and with good quality proteins, and that's why I love ButcherBox. ButcherBox delivers high quality meat and seafood right to your door. So instead of making another grocery store run, which I am notorious for, I can pull whatever I need straight out of the freezer and get dinner started. So especially during the summer months, it's so easy to just go grab a protein and throw something on the grill. We love grilling season, but we also really love other easy dinners, and that's what we're sharing here today. One of my favorite things about ButcherBox is how customizable it is. You can choose from more than 100 cuts of beef, chicken, pork, seafood, and you build a box that fits your family's needs. So whether you're planning those easy weeknight dinners, you're stocking up for summer cookouts, or you're just trying to keep your freezer filled with good quality options, it's really easy to make this work for your lifestyle. And if your needs change from month to month, you can adjust your selection, you can change your delivery schedule, you can skip a month if you need to. It's all totally customizable. I love having that flexibility because you guys know every single season looks a little bit different around here. It honestly takes so much of the guesswork out of the what are we having for dinner question. ButcherBox delivers high quality meat and seafood without antibiotics or added hormones, making those weeknight meals and backyard cookouts even easier during these seasons. If you'd like to try ButcherBox for yourself, I have a link in my description box, or you can just use the code BYRDS at checkout. You're gonna get $60 off, plus you're gonna get free protein for a limited time. You can also scan the QR code that is on the screen, or you can check out the details in my description box. All right, friends, we are going to make chicken fajitas, and this is one of those meals that I can make it on a sheet pan, I can make it in the air fryer. It literally doesn't matter how. They're both incredibly easy. Tonight, we're actually going to be making it in the air fryer. I'm gonna put everything in the 2 shelves that I have, and it's all gonna be made in there. Crazy easy, and the cleanup is even easier. I'm starting by putting some rice in our rice maker, and if you've been here for a while, you know that we typically will soak our rice throughout the day, and then when we're ready to make it at night, we will just dump the liquid, rinse it really well, and then add in bone broth. That bone broth adds extra protein, and so I like to add that in as much as possible when we make things like rice. So we're gonna cook this in the rice maker. This is my favorite way to make rice. I feel like it's the easiest way to make rice. If I get really low on a bone broth carton, I will add some water into it just to get the last little bit that I might need as far as the liquid goes with the rice, just to prevent from having to open another carton, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm just adding a pinch of salt, and we are gonna let the rice maker do the work for us. I don't have to do anything, just put this into the put the insert into the actual machine, and it does everything. All right, let's get started on the peppers and onions. I'm gonna be using green pepper, some yellow, and I might have some red. I'm gonna check that out and see if we have any left. I'm using definitely 1 full green pepper, and then we'll see how much we have left of all the other ones. And then I also personally love to add some red onion or purple onion, whichever one you wanna call it. And I like to slice these into nice thin strips. First of all, it helps them to cook up a little bit faster. And then second of all, I'm gonna make them approximately the same size as the little chicken strips, so everything will fit really nicely into the tortilla with the toppings. Once everything's chopped up, just add it directly to your air fry basket. For me, I did go ahead and spray this before I added everything in just to make sure that nothing sticks. And we're gonna start adding in our spices and flavor enhancers. We are starting with paprika. And for each one of these, I always do about 1.5 teaspoons, sometimes up to 2 teaspoons, but it depends on how much of the peppers and onions and chicken and everything that I have in the basket. So just take the seasoning that you love and sprinkle it all over the top. Same thing with garlic powder. I'm gonna do at least 1.5 teaspoons. None of these are adding extra sodium or anything like that. It's truly just adding extra flavor. So I do not go easy on any of these. Same thing with onion powder. Add whatever amount you like. I mean, obviously you don't want to dump in like 5 tablespoons, but you do want to get a nice good sprinkle all over the top. I think chili powder is delicious in fajitas. Also, if you already have a fajita seasoning, feel free to use that. We never have that on hand because I always just have the stuff that's actually in fajita seasoning. So rather than buy the blend, I just use what I already have in my pantry. Okay, now we just need to make sure that they are all fully coated. They've all got some good flavor on them, so just mix them around using tongs, your fingers, whatever it is that you want to use. A fork is totally fine too. Just get it nicely coated. I'm going to be using this other basket that I'm going to set directly on top of the peppers and onions, and we're going to put the chicken in this. I've got large chicken breasts that I've already cut in half to make them thinner, and we're going to cut these into like bite-sized strips, a little bit bigger than bite-sized, but strips that will fit on fajita as well. As far as seasoning goes, we're going to go similar to what we did on the peppers and onions. So I'm adding some salt. We'll use paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, and the chili powder as well. And I'm really just sprinkling it all over. There's not a measurement here. It's completely by looks, but I would say around 1 teaspoon-ish of each one. It all depends on how much you have of each, of the chicken breasts, obviously. So teaspoon to teaspoon and a half-ish. I'm going to toss this all together, just making sure each piece has a good amount of that seasoning on it, and then add it to our air fry tray. Just like I said, this is going to go above the pepper so that we can cook everything at the same time. These are going to go into the air fryer at 400 degrees for about 6 minutes. I will flip and turn everything, mix it up a little bit, and then probably about another 5 to 6 minutes. I also get quite a few questions about whether or not we still have our smaller air fryer that I've used in videos before, and yes, we do. We actually use that one for travel because it's a lot more compact, and we love taking an air fryer with us when we go places because it saves us from grabbing food on the go when we are traveling more local, meaning we're driving in the car to get there. All right, these are done. So I'm just gonna make an assembly line here. We're gonna get the rice out of the rice maker and add it to the bowl. And then I'm gonna top that with some of the peppers and then also the chicken. You're gonna see that the chicken sticks to this air fry basket a little bit. That is the original air fry basket to this air fryer, and we have had this for many years. I did buy a new basket and it does not stick. The one that the basket that the peppers are in here, that one doesn't stick at all. And so I think I'm gonna buy another one so that we have 2 really good air fry baskets because we do use these quite a bit. Also, just for tonight, we're gonna be topping this with Greek yogurt, just plain non-fat Greek yogurt. We use Greek yogurt as a replacement for sour cream. Sometimes I will make guacamole. Sometimes we will have like an herby ranch or something like that to top these. But tonight we are keeping it so super simple, and we're just going to use that sour cream replacement. And these, we've got complete fajita bowls. And I took almost no time to make this, and it was incredibly easy with such easy cleanup. All right, the other night we made some tacos for dinner and they were really delicious. I did not film it because we were just making tacos really quickly for dinner. And so now I'm gonna remake them because they were that good and share them with you. Crazy easy, okay? Really, really simple. And these aren't your standard tacos. First, before we do anything else, I'm gonna start by making our sauce. I've got a little bit of mayo here in this measuring cup. It's a little under a half cup. All right, so for a half cup of mayo, you wanna use about 2 tablespoons of honey. And then about a tablespoon of barbecue sauce.
We're gonna use that again for the beef. And then just about a half teaspoon of paprika, which we also will use again for the beef and the honey. So we can move that over here. And that's it. That's your sauce. Like, that's simple as it can be, all right? So I'm just going to store this until we are ready for dinner. Just set it over to the side. I'm gonna make mine with some black beans to go on the side. You could make rice, you can make whatever you want to go on the side. Some salsa would be great too, just to kind of change things up a little bit. The first thing is to get started on the beef. Now the recipe says to add 2 tablespoons of butter into your pan. I don't think that that was necessary. I think 1 was fine, but I am going to add 2 garlic cloves in here as well. Now you want to be careful with this because if garlic burns, then it's going to be very bitter, but we're just going to let it melt and cook down just a little bit. Just get a little bit of saute on that and it's going to be delicious. Okay, and while this is working for a minute here, I'm going to go ahead and open that can of black beans and just heat them up over here on the stove. I'm not doing anything special to them. I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. Maybe some paprika, some cumin. We'll see what I get to. A little bit of salt there. All right, you know what? While we're at it, let's add some cumin because that's really good flavor with black beans, and just a little bit of garlic powder and onion powder. And I also added a touch of salt. So that can just heat. I should probably turn the heat on though. That would be super helpful. Okay, so we're just gonna cook that on like a medium low, just getting everything nice and heated in that pot back there. In this one, I'm gonna turn on my heat so that we can start the tortillas, just heating those up. All right, now this is ready. It smells so fragrant and just absolutely amazing. All right, so let's add in our ground beef. Add in about a 1/4 cup of honey, about a 1/4 cup of barbecue sauce. Or sorry, a 4th cup of honey, a 1/3 cup of barbecue sauce. Goodness. Start to incorporate that. Okay, now I'm just gonna let this cook. Let's add a little bit more in, but I'm gonna let the sauce that we added just kind of caramelize, come together. Let's add a touch of salt and some paprika. I'm gonna add, oh, this one needs to just be opened. About a teaspoon or so of paprika, love that. And then I'm also gonna add a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder because I just like it. Okay, so this sauce is gonna thicken a little bit, that honey and barbecue, and that's literally it, y'all. It couldn't be easier. Now we just have to finish the tortillas and this is ready to serve. All right, y'all, we had these the other night and they were really delicious. So, do you remember them?
I'm not sure I do. Was I home for this one?
You might not have.
I don't think
actually.
it was because I think I remember these are the butter tacos.
They're garlic butter, barbecue, honey
No,
barbecue.
but the butter tortillas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I was gone the first night you used them. I
okay.
can't remember where, but yeah.
All right, so taste test. Hopefully they're as good as they were last time. It's really good. These are a little more barbecue than the last ones were.
Okay.
So, I mean, it all
sweetness.
depends. Yeah, definitely sweetness, but it all depends on what flavor of barbecue sauce you use, if you make your own.
Yeah.
I mean, it can depend on so many things, but still very, very good. I think that I made this barbecue sauce, because you guys know I make my own. This one I made a little sweeter.
Yeah.
And so they are sweeter than they were last time.
I mean, if you like
but still
sweet,
really
go
good.
for it.
Yeah. This sauce, don't make them without that.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Definitely.
But I mean, you guys saw, I threw this together. I started cooking at 5:03, I believe. We have, our kids have youth group tonight, so we have to kind of like eat dinner and get out. It's 5:21. So not only have we served all of this, But we also, the kids are waiting at the table. Well, one of them is waiting at the table ready to eat. We've now taste tested. I mean, this is like a 12, 14-minute meal.
Yeah, it's a quick one. Yep.
Yeah, so really good, y'all.
Our verse today comes from Isaiah 1:17. Learn to do good, seek justice, correct opposition, bring justice to the fatherless, plead the widow's cause. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe and stick around. We've got lots more things coming that I know you're going to enjoy. And if you need more inspiration, maybe you're in a dinner rut, there are so many videos here on my channel that might help you, that'll bring you dinner inspiration and encouragement in the kitchen. Don't forget to check out ButcherBox using the link in my description box. I hope that you're having a great week.